And for Bucknell, coming off some tough competition as well. So it should be a good test for Bucknell here in front of the home fans tonight.
Jumping setter for the Bison, it'll be Ellie Mack coming off that career-best 33-point performance. There you take a look at first-year head coach for the Bucknell Bison, Trevor Woodruff. Great four-year run at the University of Scranton in Northeast Pennsylvania, now in charge of the Bison as the opening tip won back by Alexa Williamson for Temple. And the Owls in the cherry and white go from right to left to start the night. This is Mia Davis, dangerous player, just picked up her 1,000th points in the game Sunday against UConn, and that's Ashley Jones with the runner for the first 2 points.
Yeah, good shot by Jones there. Interesting defensive matchup. The Bison start Autumn Seppi on Mia Davis. Little extra length for Trevor Woodruff's team.
Seppi sets the screen for Allie Johnson. Now it's Abby Kapp, team's leading three-point shooter. Now the point guard, Marley Walls. Good pass inside, and Ellie Mack gets it to go off the window.
Great seal that time by Ellie Mack, carving out space on that left block.
Temple comes in 3-2 on the season, 0-1 in American Conference play, as this is Mackins teeing up a three. Abby Kapp gets the rebound.
Yeah, way off the mark on that one. Bucknell's going to have to be ready for those long rebounds. Temple, a streaky three-point shooting team.
This is Mack. Does a lot of work inside, but can stretch it out and hit the three. To kick it back out for Allie Johnson. Short off the front rim. Johnson struggled in the game against Quinnipiac from deep, was just 1 of 7. But one of the most dangerous shooters on this Bucknell team. Bison get a turnover as Kapp tipped the pass and Ellie Mack came up with the steal. Johnson kicks to Marley Walls. Last time Bucknell played at home, Allie Johnson set a new career high with 17 points against St. Bonaventure last Wednesday. As Walls leaves out for Mack from the free throw line, off the mark, and a shot clock violation.
Boy, Ellie Mack looking for a foul there. It looked like there was a whole lot of arm. Ellie Mack's not going to shoot an air ball from 15 feet. Refs might have missed one there.
Team captain and all preseason Patriot League selection herself, Ellie Mack. You're saying her name a lot tonight. It's this Marissa Mackins, talented sophomore for Temple. Skip it to Jones, a transfer from West Virginia. And they try to find Mia Davis, but she can't handle it, and another turnover for Temple.
Yeah, some switching action on the baseline that time, and good ball denial. That time it was Ellie Mack switched over on Davis. Forced that pass to go wide.
Offense is a little slow to get started tonight. 2.5 minutes in, sitting on 2 apiece. Walls on the drive, and she gets fouled going into the double team. They're going to call Alexa Williamson for the first foul of the game.
Bucknell has some very good three-point shooters, Kapp and Johnson, to name 2 of them, but Temple looks like they want to sag back in the lane and cut off some of that drive and dish action. A lot of Bucknell's three-pointers come off of that action.
Walls gets the screen. Dumps inside for Mack, leaves out to Kapp for a wide open look from 3, but off the mark.
Yeah, it's a good look there. You want paint touches, and a higher percentage of three-pointers go down when the ball comes from inside out.
Williamson lost a handle on it and got it back. Now Davis, guarded by Seppi, gets the bucket.
It's a powerful move by Davis that time. Real quick first step to free up space for the little 5-foot jumper.
Junior from Baltimore with her first 2 points of the night. Kapp tried to get it inside for Seppi, but it was stolen. It was Mackins making the play. Now the long pass for Williamson. She throws it out of bounds off of Bucknell.
Boy, I would like to see a replay of that. It looked like she had trouble controlling the ball. Maybe traveled. I guess the official said she didn't have control, but it also looked like she might have had a foot out of bounds before she just flipped it back in. First subs of the day coming in for both teams.
Taylor O'Brien on for Bucknell, and Asana Alexander comes in for Temple. And Tessa Brugler going to check in for the Bison as well.
Yeah, Tessa veteran player, captain, has started some games this year for the Bison, brings even more size up front. She gets the matchup on Davis here, and a great defensive play by Tessa.
Yeah, she's been great this year, but has had foul trouble in a lot of games, so hasn't been able to stay on the court as much as she'd like. Holds on the elbow and hands to Allie Johnson. Through contact, shot no good.
Yeah, Williams just sort of stood her ground there.
Davis to Alexander, and they'll slow it down with Ashley Jones. Bison blanketing the perimeter. Jones travels.
Really impressed with Bucknell's defense. Good ball pressure, which has resulted in some turnovers, and the ability for the post players to be able to get around their mark and come up with some steals, but it all originates with the ball pressure up top.
Johnson into the front court for Bucknell. Brugler's got some range, which gives to Taylor O'Brien. Cap, another try from deep. This one short, but an offensive rebound for Tessa Brugler. Allie Johnson launches long.
The Bison settling for some jump shots here. Thought they had a chance to get it into Ellie, who had her players sealed in the low post. Ellie was posting up with 2 feet in the paint that time, but the Bison couldn't get her the ball.
Brugler in the high post. On the handoff for Johnson again. Just 8 to shoot as Johnson sends it into Mack. They double Ellie Mack inside, and she gets the bucket and the foul, and one for Ellie Mack.
Big time move by Ellie Mack there. A double team came, didn't matter. She was extremely patient. That second player came in a little bit out of control. She was able to split it, and she'll have a chance for an N1 after the break.
4:47 left in the first. We are all tied at 4 here at Soika Pavilion. Welcome back to Soika Pavilion with 4:47 left in the first. It has been a slow start for both offenses tonight, just tied at 4. But Ellie Mack to the free throw line to try and give Bucknell a lead out of the media timeout as she was fouled, trying to complete a three-point play.
That's right. Bucknell has forced 4 turnovers in the early going. The Bison have twice as many field goal attempts as Temple does, 8 to 4. Bucknell just 2 for 8 from the field, though. And Mack converts the three-point play. She has all 5 Bucknell points.
That she does, coming off that 33-point performance against Quinnipiac on Saturday. Ellie Mack continuing to put up big offensive numbers this year. Mackins gives to Mia Davis. We've got Tessa Brugler working on her. Alexander back to Ashley Jones. Alina Nayan in for the first time. Mackins tries from 3 and connects. Marissa Mackins.
Yeah, tough one there for Bucknell. They played about 27 seconds of really good defense, and Cap just didn't quite get out far enough on the closeout on the skip pass.
Marissa Mackins, player now in her sophomore season at Temple, who stepped up in a big way, as Marley Walls doing the same at Bucknell, gets her first 2 points.
Yeah, real nice play. They're going to need Marley Walls to score some points tonight. All the guards, as a matter of fact, to relieve some of the scoring pressure off of Ellie. Great little move with the left hand there by Marley Walls.
Mackins, guarded by Taylor O'Brien. Bucknell switches.
That's okay. Ellie Mack can guard guards too. She's a versatile enough player. Couldn't quite get back on the defensive rotation that time. Good ball movement by Temple.
Now 4 points for Mia Davis as Temple with a 9-7 lead. Walls leaves back for Ellie Mack. Back to a cutting Taylor O'Brien. Good spin move inside. And a bucket good for Taylor. Her first 2 points of the day.
And there's Ellie, scores 33 last time. Now she's finding backdoor cutters standing in the high post. She can do a little bit of everything.
Mackins guarded by Walls. Alexander sends it out to Ashley Jones for 3. She knocks it down. She's got 5 as Temple starting to find its rhythm on the offensive side end of that timeout.
Yeah, those are 2 straight deep threes by Temple. Bucknell on those closeouts is really going to have to get out there.
Walls thought about pulling up for 3. Instead, they'll work it inside, and Tessa Brugler is going to pick up the foul. As Ashley Jones, a defensive mismatch, fouled her on the way up. Or maybe they call it on Alexander. They're both in the area.
Yeah, it looked like the first defender in had all ball there, and it was just a late reach in. You could hear the crack skin to skin there. And Tessa will go to the free throw line.
Autumn Seppi checks back in for Bucknell. So does Allie Johnson. Ellie Mack and Abby Kapp going to have a breather as Brugler's first is good.
Bucknell in their first 4 games this year has shot 60 free throws while their opponents have shot 82. I know Trevor Woodruff would like to see that gap close a little bit. Bison shooting a solid 70% from the free throw line. That'll go up as the year goes along too. And good job converting there by Tessa. You want your bigs to be able to finish on the free throw line.
Jones leaves out, Neon for 3. That was off the mark, and it was Allie Johnson who ping-ponged around for that one. And last year, Bucknell had really a whole team that shot very high percentages from the line as O'Brien on the drive gets it off the glass.
Yeah, Bucknell finding some driving lanes. They're being very patient offensively. Really impressed with what Bucknell's been able to do. They haven't had some shots fall yet. The threes haven't started to fall, but they've run the offense very well here in the first 8 minutes or so. Pass
high for Davis, but they call the foul on Autumn Seppi. Say she pushed her from behind. That'll be the first foul against Bucknell in the first quarter with 1:50 to play.
I'm sure the officiating crew was gently reminded on their way past the Temple bench that the Bison hadn't been called for a foul yet. So a little shuck off in the post.
Renaya Walker had a quick touch for Temple. First time we've said her name today. Shauna Alexander into the corner. 3 from Amani Mayo. Oh boy, just rimmed right out.
So that was 3/4 of the way down, it seemed like.
Walls taking it herself. No good on the shots, and it goes out of bounds off Bucknell. It'll be Temple ball, trailing by 1 inside 90 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, poor transition defense by Temple there. They got away with it. Marley Walls just dribbled the ball up in second gear all the way up the floor and just found herself with about a 5-foot jump shot. Brugler attacked the offensive glass there too. Oh, here's a steal.
That's Walls picking off the pass. Stops on Mayo, goes up for the shot. Doesn't go, but Walls was fouled. Not a bad foul by Imani Mayo. But Marley Walls to the line to shoot 2 as Bucknell looks to extend what is a 1-point lead. First against Mayo, 4th here in the first quarter against Temple. Walls gets the first. He's got 3 in the opening quarter, came in 67% from the line this season.
Really interested to see how Marley develops over the course of the year. She's only a sophomore. Saw key minutes as a backup player behind Kai English at the point last year. And really in the spotlight this year as a Division I starting point guard.
Yep.
And she's handled it really well in the early going, only going to get better by the time league play rolls around in January and February. Really excited to see her develop.
Yeah, replacing Kai English, certainly no easy task for Marley Walls. As Mia Davis has it poked free by Tessa Brugler, and then in the fight for it, it's going to be Bucknell ball as Davis had it out of bounds.
Wow, another great job defensively for Bucknell getting into passing lanes. We saw Marley Walls jump a passing lane for an open layup and she drew a foul there, and that's the second time Tessa Brugler's come up with a steal. Maybe frustrating Davis a little bit.
This is one of the best first halves of the season for Bucknell in terms of their defense. Coming out really strong as they work it inside to Brugler, who gets the bucket and the foul.
Boy, Tessa Brugler coming off the bench in this one is having a great first quarter here. Allie Johnson with a nice play to beat a defender on the baseline, and a sweet little dish into Brugler, who is really doing a good job carving out space there. I think Bucknell's missed her on the low block a couple times when she's had a moment to maybe catch the ball in the low post. Great job at both ends by Tessa.
Junior team captain's got 5 points as she completes the 3-point play, and it's a 6-point Bucknell lead with just under 44 seconds left to go in the first quarter. After the sluggish start, both teams heating up a little bit from the floor, but Bucknell more so. Little step back from Ashley Jones, left it short, and Ellie Mack grabs the rebounds.
Yeah, that was only Temple's 10th field goal attempt of the quarter. They're shooting 50%, but the 6 turnovers that Bucknell has forced has been a major storyline here in the first quarter.
Just over a second shot clock to game clock in the first, so Marley Wall's going to wind it down as much as possible. It's the double screen from Mack and Brugler. Mack on the drive, off the glass, no, and the rebound to Mia Davis, who sends the outlet. Ashley Jones from half court, good if it goes. Ooh, off the rim, nearly had it down. 18-12, Bucknell on top of Temple at the end of the first quarter here on Stadium. Back at Soika Pavilion, it's the Bucknell Bison leading the Temple Owls 18-12 at the end of the first quarter. Alongside John Terry, I'm Joe Vasile, and it was a first quarter, John, where Bucknell dominated inside in terms of points in the paint.
That's right. Bucknell 6 for 14, have a 6-point lead after the first quarter, even though they haven't had a jump shot go down yet. All 6 coming in the paint for 12 points in the paint for Bucknell, and they've gotten to the free throw line 6 times because of that interior play too. And here's another foul drawn by Tessa Brugler on Williamson.
Alexa Williamson going to pick up her second personal foul, first in the second quarter against Temple.
The other thing, Joe, is you look at the stat sheet, you see Temple's shooting 50%, but that's a little bit misleading. Yeah. As we mentioned at the end of the quarter, they've only attempted 10 shots, 6 turnovers for Temple. They have not had an offensive rebound yet either.
Allie Johnson driving in, had it blocked, got the ball back, but was standing on the line when she did. So that'll go down as just the second turnover today for Bucknell. Owls looking for some answers as Tanya Cardoza, their head coach, in her 12th season with Temple. Trying to get the team on the right track as Neon for 3 gets it to go down off the back rim.
How'd that go in? That looked like it was going all the way over the rim, caught a piece of it and dropped in.
Neon transferred from NC State after her freshman season, now a junior at Temple.
Tall, rangy player. We saw her guarding Marley Walls at the end of the first quarter, so she's got some versatility to her.
This is Brugler backing her way down inside, gets the bucket and the foul as Tessa Brugler has 7 points already in the first half, 1 off her career high.
Tessa Brugler's been the woman of the match so far for Bucknell. Great job sealing position. She got all the way into the restricted area that time and caught the ball in there, and it was just nothing Temple could do except try and foul her, and she was too strong. Got the ball up over the rim, looking for another 3-point play.
It was Shannon Atkinson who picked up the foul, and the bucket good for Brugler, so she ties her career high, which was set earlier this year, with 8 points. And it's Bucknell by 6 once again, just over a minute into the second quarter.
Plus 2 rebounds and 2 steals for Tessa, and some dynamite defense as well.
Really got the potential to be the breakout player of the year for the Bison as Neon for 3 again knocks it down.
They called it a 2, Joe, but the referee gave the signal they're going to want to take a review on that one the next time they come down the floor when they get a chance. Maybe a toe on the line, we'll have to see.
Allie Johnson skips it for Abby Kapp, yet to get going today. Kapp the scoop, good.
Nifty little ball fake. You have to respect Abby Kapp's ability to shoot the 3. The closeout was not under control that time. She put the ball on the floor and got to the rim.
Now the analytics really love Abby Kapp. As Neon get a try from the other side. No, Mia Davis the offensive rebound, and she gets the putback.
Second points for Davis make that. She had an early bucket too. Hasn't had a lot of touches, so she goes to the offensive glass that time. That's what good scorers do.
And Bison doing a good job defensively on Davis, averaging over 21 points a game as Mack drives in and is blocked by Shannon Atkinson. Atkinson at 6'4", running the floor the other way for Temple. Here's Ashley Jones. Shauna Alexander. Her pass is stolen by Kapp. Mack thought about stepping into that 3. Instead, Allie Johnson picks it up. Hand off for Walls. Kapp wide open for 3, and it was too long. And the rebound tipped to Tessa Brugler. Good job by Mack. And then Brugler gets the bucket, and she's in double figures for Bucknell in the first half. Bison have had an answer for Temple as they've started to heat up. Neon for 3 again. And that's her 3rd in the quarter. Well, 2nd in the quarter, potentially 3rd, depending on the results of the replay from the bucket from before.
Yeah, I think if you would have asked Trevor Woodruff if he would mind Neon out there at the 3-point arc, she's 3 for 12 from the arc coming into the game, he'd be okay with that, but credit to her, she's knocking them down.
6'2" from Dakar, Senegal. Lena Neon up to keep Temple close here as Ellie Mack's shot is no good. She grabs her own miss, goes up around 3 defenders, and can't finish. Temple grabs the rebounds. And Tanya Cardozo is going to take a timeout with 6:15 left to go in the second. It's a 25-22 lead for Bucknell. Got a timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them here on Stadium. Back here at Stoic Pavilion with 6:15 left to go in the second alongside John Terry. I'm Joe Basile. Bucknell with a 25-22 lead. Referees went under the hood during the break. We take another look at Lena Neon's second made jump shot. And at least from the indication, it will stand as a two-pointer, so the score does not change. And it'll stay with the Bucknell three-point lead. But Temple's come out shooting very strong, John, in this second quarter.
Yeah, they're 4 for 9 overall in the game from three-point range, 2 for 3 in this quarter, 4 for 5 overall in the quarter. I think Temple took a quick time out there. They were not quite pleased with how easy Bucknell is getting the ball deep in the paint to both Brugler and Ellie Mack. The Owls dodged a bullet there when Ellie missed a couple of layups. She won't do that very often.
As Marissa Mackins checked back into the game. She drives, goes up, and it's just a 1-point Bucknell lead at 25-24 as Mackins back into the action. She's got 5.
Good player, Mackins, averages over 13 points a game, handles the ball well.
O'Brien on the drive, off the window, no, and the rebound goes to Imani Mayo. Mackins pushing the tempo ahead to Neon underneath, and Temple takes the lead back.
A quick timeout here for Trevor Woodruff.
He didn't like what he saw, calls the timeout, just a 30-second timeout as Temple has come out on a nice run to take this lead back. And for Bucknell, what they were doing so well in the first quarter was being able to slow Temple down with its defense, but the Owls starting to ramp up the pace.
Yeah, that's right. And unfortunately, Bucknell, last 3 layups have not been on the mark there. Good job by Taylor O'Brien getting the rim a little strong off the glass that time. And Bucknell got really sucked in deep in the paint. And Temple was able to beat the Bison down the floor in transition that time. Really impressive catch and finish by Neong. We've seen her hit some shots from deep that time, but she caught that thing right under the basket on full sprint and was able to control her body enough to just get it up off the glass and in.
26-25, Temple on top as Walls leaves back to Autumn Seppi. Taylor O'Brien back for Seppi, couple of left-handers to a cutting Cap to the basket, and the bucket good for Abby Cap.
Well, that flex action for Bucknell's really worked on those backdoor cutters coming off the wing. Bucknell's bigs are all very good passers.
And a whistle. And looks like it's going to be Autumn Seppi called for another foul. Away from the ball, that'll be her second and the team's first in the second. Trevor Woodruff getting an explanation from the officials today. Timothy Green, the referee, Robert McDowell, and Lori Deutsch are the umpires. Mia Davis Up the high post, and another foul called away from the ball.
Shannon Atkinson has drawn both of those fouls, really aggressively posting up there in the low post. Atkinson came off the bench. She's tough. So she's a senior, veteran player. She's been around, 6'4". Tough matchup for the Bison.
Atkinson has had season-ending injuries in the last 2 years, so the playing time been limited lately. His back-end shot was shorts. But she's been healthy this year. Cap guarded by Neon. Brugler outside to Taylor O'Brien. Good closeout by Mackins to force the drive and the miss on the layup. Bison by a point. Mackins tries to change that and can't.
Numbers here for the Bison.
3-on-2. Walls outside. Abby Cap for three. And Abby Cap, after she missed her first couple attempts in the first quarter, finally gets one to connect for the first three-pointer for the Bison tonight.
Yeah, really needed that one. Bucknell's going to have to hit their open threes. And after a run here of 3 or 4 missed layups, finally get a jump shot to go. I think it's the first bucket outside the paint.
A good call as Atkinson grabs the offensive glass and gets the bucket. Her first 2 points to the night. Cut the Bucknell lead back down to 2.
Atkinson and Niang and Davis, that's a big front court for Temple.
Max screens for Walls. And Cap traveled on the perimeter.
Yeah, she scissored her feet there a little bit. The call was made by the official on the far side of the floor, not by the one standing 5 feet away, but I think it was the right call.
Allie Johnson checks in for Marley Walls, so not a true point guard on the floor right now for the Bison. As Jones hands off to Neon. Davis with Allie Johnson on her. For Atkinson, and Johnson pokes it free. Allie Johnson had 4 steals on Saturday against Quinnipiac.
Good job making Atkinson put the ball on the floor that time. She caught it in an uncomfortable place for her.
Cap, catch and shoot 3, no good. But Ellie Mack grabs the offensive rebound. Bucknell with their 5th offensive rebound of the game compared to just 2 for Temple.
Temple's converted both of theirs into putbacks, however.
Mack with 3 to shoot. Gives to O'Brien. Gonna try a 3 and knocks it down.
Deep one for Taylor that time. Her heels were right on that sideline in front of the Temple bench.
Jones for Davis along the baseline. Goes up on Brugler. No. O'Brien the miss.
Great defense by Tessa cutting off the baseline.
Allie Johnson, rhythm 3. Off the rim, no. Tessa Brugler, the offensive rebound, but she was blocked by Atkinson. And then the tie-up, possession arrow favoring Temple. It was Davis and Mack getting tangled up for that jump ball.
Well, that's okay, though. A couple shots didn't go there for Bucknell. They're really running their stuff well. They're taking their opportunities in transition. And the Bison only shooting, it's just an even 40%, 2 for 9 from 3. So the shots haven't quite dropped, but the offense, the rhythm has been very good. I think Trevor's got to be pleased.
Jones from the free throw line, no. O'Brien the miss. So it's Allie Johnson in running the point with Marley Walls on the bench. O'Brien. Off a dribble. Cap gives back for Allie Johnson to call out the play. Horns action for Bucknell. And Taylor O'Brien travels. That was something that kind of was reintroduced a couple of years ago as a point of emphasis in the officiating, and it's one of those things that's kept up, a lot of those travels on the perimeter.
Yeah, the officials really want to see you put the ball on the floor before that foot moves. European basketball, that's an automatic travel. You see that call all the time. When Bucknell teams go on their overseas tours, they get a million traveling calls because that's called in Europe and not always here in NCAA basketball.
Off the miss, another rebound for the Bison. They're out-rebounding Temple 16-13 in the first half. It's been an area that the Bison have struggled in so far this year in their first 4 games. As O'Brien to the basket, just hung on the rim and rolled off.
Everything but the finish that time. She just blew by her defender like she was standing still.
Jones the other way gets the bucket for the Owls.
Unfortunate sequence there for Bucknell. A 4-point swing there. Taylor got all the way to the rim and just couldn't finish. That's 2 in a row she's done that.
It's a 3-point Bison advantage with a minute to play in the first half. Tessa Brugler fakes the handoff to Johnson. Cap left open for 3. In and out, no good. Brugler another offensive rebound, but another block by Shannon Atkinson. Jones dumps underneath to Mia Davis, who gets the bucket. Temple shaves the lead down to 1. About a half-second differential shot clock to game clock in the second quarter. Bucknell can hold for the final possession if they want it. This time they run the handoff to Allie Johnson. Ocean into a horn set. Both elbows covered. Max got it. Outside to Johnson. 2 to shoot. Mack doesn't get the shot off. Shot clock expires, and Temple will have it with 0.3 seconds left. Just enough time to catch and shoot.
Yeah, we'll see what Temple does here. They should probably just throw it to the rim and see if they can get a tip in. If they throw it, they're just going to be content to run the half out here. No chance.
And so that'll do it for the first 20 minutes of basketball from Soika Pavilion. It's the Bucknell Bison with a 1-point lead, 33-32 over the Temple Owls. Take a step aside and be back at the halftime reports right after this on Stadium.
Welcome into the PLN studio for Top 3 Plays. I'm your host, Morgan Uber. You've probably heard the sports cliche that defense wins championships. It came true this weekend in the Patriot League, and we have a double dose of evidence as our top play this week. At number 3, DeKeith Carter currently owns the catch of the year in the Patriot League.
Going for the red zone, and that is a sick grab. Wow.
You want to talk about big-time plays. DeKeith Carter able to give you the one-hand stab.
Taking the number 2 spot is Saeed Nelson with this buzzer beater at George Washington.
2 seconds, turnaround fader is good at the horn. What a shot by Saeed Nelson to win the game. The senior comes up with a shot he'll never forget.
And finally at number 1, tournament MVP Will Smith made a huge diving save in the title game, and then minutes later, his teammate made an even bigger one.
Shot blocked, second opportunity, cleared off the line. I want to see it again, Eric, but I think it was Justin Scharf.
A lot of times on that first clearance, they leave that line, but he makes sure he puts himself in good position, saves the Patriot League championship.
There were many other great highlights in the Patriot League this past weekend. Do yourself a favor, go jump on social media using the hashtag PLTop3 to check them all out. Next week, we'll see you right back here for our fall season finale of Top 3 Plays. American and Colgate were powerhouses in Patriot League volleyball this season. The Eagles and Raiders both clinched a share of the regular season title with a combined 30-2 record in league play. The two losses came against each other. The dominance continued on Monday as the Patriot League announced its major awards, with the two schools splitting 4 of the 5 honors. Colgate junior Allie Lau was named the Patriot League Player of the Year for the first time in her career. Lau posted 389 kills in 95 sets and also averaged 2.06 digs per set for the Raiders. Her coach Ryan Baker was named the Patriot League Coach of the Year for the 3rd time in his career. The 14th-year head coach led the Raiders to the number 2 seed with a 15-1 league record. American junior Olivia Vassner was named the Setter of the Year after leading the league in service aces. Vassner finished 2nd in assists with 9.85 per set. Her 0.64 service aces per set ranked 2nd in the nation. Teammate Zainab Uzan was named the Rookie of the Year, averaging 2.74 kills and 3.11 points per set. She was among the league's leaders with a .305 hitting percentage. Loyola sophomore Katie Forsyth rounded out the major awards with her second straight Libero of the Year honor. Forsyth leads the nation in dinks with a Patriot League single-season record 726. She broke her own record and now sits at 1,423 digs after becoming the fastest player in Patriot League history to reach the 1,000 mark. Forsyth also landed on the All-Patriot League first team. Uzan and Vassner joined teammate Helena Elbach to make it 3 Eagles on the first team. Colgate sophomore Julie Kurowski led the league in assists with 10.31%, and she joins fellow Raider Lau. Lehigh led the way on the second team with a pair of honorees, including senior Emily Poole. She finished number 1 in the league in blocks with 120. For more information on the award winners in volleyball, go to patriotleague.com. You can follow the entire tournament at patriotleague.tv.
Give me that bass, give me that bass, give me that bass. Bass, give me that bass, give me that bass, give me that bass, bass, give me that bass, give me that bass, give me that. Bass, give me that 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 bass, give me that.
It all came down to the final weekend in field hockey to decide the number 1 seed. American University clinched the regular season title for the first time since 2013. The postseason awards reflect just how competitive the season was. 4 different schools collected major awards announced by the league office on Tuesday. Junior midfielder Noor Kunin led top-seeded American with a league-best 34 points. Kunin was named the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year. The former Rookie of the Year finished the regular season with 14 goals and 6 assists. Senior Lisa Vandergeest won Lafayette's first Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year award since 2010. She had 7 goals and 7 assists and led the Leopards' defense, holding opponents to 1.31 goals per game. Bucknell senior Olivia Harris was named the Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Year. She posted a 1.69 goals against average with a .764 save percentage. Boston U's Jody Connolly finished 7th in the league in points, and the freshman earned the Patriot League Rookie of the Year honor. She finished the season with 8 goals and 3 assists. For the first time in her 7 seasons at the helm, Lafayette's Jennifer Stone was named the Patriot League Coach of the Year. Stone led the Leopards to the number 2 seed with a 5-1 league record. 12 student athletes were named to the All-Patriot League first team, with American and Bucknell leading the way with 3 apiece. Holy Cross's Madeline Alderfer had a league best 9 assists and earned a spot on the team. For more on the postseason awards and the complete all-league second team, you can log on to PatriotLeague.com. You can also find the entire Patriot League tournament on PatriotLeague.tv.
Bucknell 33, Temple 32. He's John Terry, I'm Joe Vasile. This was a first half, JT, where Tessa Brugler stepped up in a big way for Bucknell, and so did Lena Nyan for Temple, both with 10 points to lead the way in terms of scoring.
Yeah, really good job by Niang for Temple. Hit a couple of three-pointers there, another one with just a toe on the line. We mentioned only 3 for 12 from the arc, so not someone for the Owls you would expect to come off the bench firing from long distance, but she did a good job there, 10 points. And Tessa Brugler, Joe, clearly her best performance of the year so far for the Bison. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of those boards coming at the offensive end. Couple steals, she drew 4 fouls, got herself to the free throw line. She did a little bit of everything there in the first half. Yeah, great job by Tessa.
Really a fantastic job by Tessa Brugler. Those 10 points already representing a career high. She's looking to try and lead the Bison to victory tonight over the Temple Owls. It will be the first time ever that Bucknell would beat Temple. Of course, only one previous matchup. But Nian has come off the bench for Temple and scored 10 out of their 12 bench points in the first half. Was a real difference maker on both the offensive and defensive side in that second quarter, where the Owls chipped away at the Bucknell lead. And as we switch sides, the Bison have it first in the third quarter, trying to expand on what is a 1-point advantage.
Oh, we got a little wrestling match going on in the key here.
Yeah, a couple number 25s hitting the deck. Ellie Mack and Mia Davis collided, and it's Davis who picks up the foul, her first and the team's first.
2 points for the takedown, but that's not the rule in basketball.
Marley Walls gets the screen from Ellie Mack on the drive. Kick out Allie Johnson for 3. Off the rim, no good. Johnson now 0 for 4 from deep after going just 1 of 7 over the weekend against Quinnipiac.
Oh, good box out there by Autumn Seppi. Let Ellie Mack sweep in for the rebound.
One area where Bucknell has not done a good job today is just hitting some jump shots as Ellie Mack inside gets the bucket off the window.
And that's all Autumn Seppi there. She drew the double team, maintained her patience, and a great cut to the basket by Ellie Mack. Bucknell in the first half just 10 for 23 on 2-point shots, so they missed a lot right around the rim, whereas Temple was 10 for 15 on those shots.
Mayo has it partially blocked by Cap. And then a foul called on Ellie Mack, and that's just a hard luck one as Alexa Williamson was trying to go up and grab the ball, and Mack had her back turned, and Williamson landed right on her.
Yeah, Ellie didn't know anything about it. The shot was blocked on the perimeter. She's boxing her player out, looking for the defensive rebound, and the ball was only going to drop about halfway to the basket.
So Temple catches a break as Mack whistled for her first foul. On the drive, bucket is no good. They wave it off on the charge against Mia Davis, and it was Autumn Seppi stepping it in and drawing it.
Well, Autumn Seppi watched Tessa Brugler come in for her in the first half and have the game of her life. So Autumn wants to stay on the floor here, so she's got a great block out, a great assist, and now she takes a charge. So she's going to get herself some more playing time if she keeps that up.
They call it on Mia Davis.
And the foul was on Davis, too.
And Tani Cardoza is not happy with the call. She was out on the court a little bit, pleading her case. But Seppi does such a great job defensively for this Bucknell team. Also great passer out of the post. And we've seen both of that on display here in the third quarter. Cap. Marley Walls on the drive. Cap in the corner for three, off no good, and Davis grabs the miss for Temple.
Yeah, Abby Cap, a 44% three-point shooter, like the rest of the Bison, having trouble from long distance today.
Ashley Jones on the drive, gets the finger roll. Temple back within one.
Yeah, Temple's caught Bucknell in transition a couple times off those long misses on the missed three-pointers. Bucknell really needs to get back and build a wall across that lane.
Ball's off of Seppi's screen. Dump it into her in the block. A kick out, wide open, Allie Johnson for three, and she connects finally from deep. And she's been struggling, but when she's on fire from deep, she's almost unstoppable.
Yeah, she's a terrific shooter. We saw her shoot just under 50% last year. And again, that came from a paint touch. Now here's a steal for Cap.
It's Jones who threw it away to Cap. 2-on-1, bounce pass for Seppi was tipped. She kicks it out. The extra pass finds Ellie Mack wide open, and her three is no good.
Not great spacing that time on the 2-on-1. Marley Wallace got a little bit tight to her defender, and the play was broken up.
Pass, Williamson wasn't ready for it, but Temple recovers. Ashley Jones, the lefty drive, goes up around Mack, no good. She was looking for a foul call, but didn't get it. They're going to force Mack to dribble it into the front court.
That's the versatility of Ellie Mack. Sometimes she plays like a center, sometimes she plays like a point guard. One of the most dynamic players the Bucknell women's basketball team has had in many years.
Hand off to Cap. Pump fake. The teardrop, no. And she grabs the miss as it pinged out to her. And Marley Walls will set up the offense. Reset to 20 seconds on the shot clock, the new rule this year in the NCAA off offensive rebounds. Seppi tried to get it underneath to Allie Johnson, but the pass too far ahead. And a Bison turnover. Tessa Brugler comes back in, as does Taylor O'Brien. Bucknell running very thin on the bench, just a 7-player rotation as a timeout taken by the Temple Owls. We have a timeout on the floor with 6:24 left to go in the third. It's Bucknell 38, Temple 34 here on Stadium.
Give me that bass, 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 give me that bass.
Back at Soroka Pavilion with 6:24 left in the third. Bucknell a 4-point lead over Temple. Alongside John Terry, Joe Vasile here with you. It's been another slow-going start for the offenses in the third quarter, but Allie Johnson knocking down a three for the Bison. Maybe starting to find her groove from deep a little tonight.
Yeah, the Bison just 3 for 14 from three, and we've seen this Bucknell team really light it up from downtown. Bucknell has 9 more field goal attempts in the game than Temple, so we figure if Bucknell can just get hot a little bit, neither team's really been able to make an extended run in this game, so really the first team that can do that might be the winner tonight, as we're down to not quite the midway point here in the third quarter. Bucknell with an 8-3 advantage in offensive rebounds in the game, but only a 5-4 advantage in second chance points, as they're just kind of struggling to get some of those shots to drop. They have had those extra looks, though. If they can convert some of those, it's going to really benefit them.
Davis inside gets the bucket off the glass for Temple. This Mia Davis into double figures. A quiet 10 points for her tonight.
Yeah, 9 rebounds as well, so nearing a double-double. It has been a quiet 10. Remember, she averages 22.
There's Tessa Brugler, who's got 10. Johnson back inside to Brugler. Tries to go up, and she's going to get called for the offensive foul. That'll be Brugler's second.
Yeah, just extended that left arm there. Good, powerful move trying to bully her way to the basket there, but makes it really obvious when you do it right in front of the official when that arm gets extended.
Bucknell shooting just 36% from the floor. Temple up over 50%. Williamson turns around, shot no good, and Brugler grabs it off the ground. Just a 2-point Bucknell lead as Allie Johnson runs the points with Marley Walls on the bench. Kick out. Johnson inside for Brugler. Cap thought about it for a moment. Johnson on the drive. Kick out Taylor O'Brien for 3 off the back rim.
Yeah, good action that time. Almost too patient that time. Bucknell passing up some good shots.
Inside to Williamson, and a foul called against Abby Cap. That'll be Cap's first, team's third, and for the first time in this game, Temple will head to the free throw line on the other side of this timeout on the floor. 4:57 left to go in the third quarter. Bucknell leads by 2, but Temple with a chance to tie as they head to the free throw line for 2 here on Stadium.
Give me that bass, 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 give me that bass.
Back here at Soika Pavilion, it's been a tight one the entire way. The fans been thoroughly entertained.
Oh, those young dudes are making me hungry. Assistant track and field coach Richard Alexander. His kids there, they're regulars here at Bucknell women's basketball games. Lots of kids here at Soika Pavilion, especially for these women's games. Love the 6 o'clock start times, makes it easy for family. A lot of staff and faculty bring their young children over on these weeknight games. Just a lot of fun family-style atmosphere for Bucknell women's basketball.
Williamson's first free throw, no good. So the sophomore from Houston misses on the first free throw attempt of the day for the Temple Owls. She makes good on the seconds. And so the lead down to 1 for Bucknell. Bison have led throughout this contest, but the lead has never been bigger than 6.
Yeah, Bucknell's led for 17 minutes. Temple's led for 4.
O'Brien drives in. She gets fouled. It'll head to the free throw line. Is Williamson going to pick up her third?
Yeah, Taylor with a speed advantage there. She's gotten to the rim a number of times, but only not to see the ball come in off the glass. She throws it up a little on the hard side off that glass there. She did draw a foul there, but she's kind of kicking herself. She wanted the N1.
Miss Pennsylvania basketball in 2018 at Plymouth White Marsh High School. First free throw, no good from O'Brien.
She went out for the track team after basketball season ended last year. Decided she was going to high jump. She was a great high jumper in basketball, or in high school, I should say. And her very first meet, she broke the school record.
Not too bad.
And then won a silver medal at the Patriot League Championships.
0 for 2 from the free throw line here is Temple with a chance to take the lead, trailing by 1. Cap defensively on Shauna Alexander. Now Davis working her way in, tries to get space and does. Bucket good for Mia Davis, and Temple with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, that was really good defense there by Tessa Brugler to cut her off, but Davis is just so solid with the ball. Just bounced off her and said, well, I'll just take a little 6-foot shot.
Johnson, the screen from Tessa Brugler. That's Abby Cap. Max sets the screen. Cap launches for 3, but it's too long. And Neon grabs the rebound. Bucknell gets back in transition, and the bucket no good, and they call a late block against Cap as she was inside the restricted arc.
Yeah, I believe they called her for heels in there. Hard to tell from that replay.
Yeah. So
that was not as good a look for Abby Cap on that last 3-point attempt. Off the dribble, floating to her right a little bit. Bucknell's best look at 3 have come when there's a paint touch inside and the ball's kicked out, either from a drive and dish or a post player whipping it out. Now they've missed some of those too, but they've been much cleaner looks, and those are the ones that'll drop.
Bison just 3 of 16 from 3-point range today after they were 7 of 26 against Quinnipiac on Saturday. And Ashley Jones going to get whistled for the foul as Marley Walls chucked to the grounds.
A little bit of danger time here. Sorry, Joe. A little bit of a danger time here for Bucknell. Basket here would be nice. Temple methodically has regained the lead here.
O'Brien, no. Brugler, the offensive rebound. She gets fouled. They'll head to the line. And was going to say, when Bucknell was playing such great defense in the first and having so much success, turnovers and grabbing rebounds, they weren't ever able to get more separation than 6 points from Temple. Let them hang around.
That's right. Yeah, when Bucknell was up 6, they were playing so well, it felt like they could have had a double-digit lead there. Did let Temple hang around. So Bucknell needs to get to the end of this third quarter here, right in around this 2-point even range here. Play them even here the rest of the half. Is that the first free throw miss? Well, we missed 3 now. That's right. Taylor O'Brien just missed a pair, so that's 3 misses in a row after they started 7 for 7.
The second from Brugler goes down, though. She has 11 points, 4 of those, or rather 5 of those, coming from the free throw line.
Yeah, 7 rebounds as well, a bunch on the offensive glass.
5 out of those 7 for Brugler coming offensively. Alexander for Mia Davis. Now Neon for 3. Got it again. Lena Neon with her third 3-pointer. She's got 14 points now for Temple.
Yeah, they missed Davis posting up on the smaller Taylor O'Brien that time, but it didn't matter. They took a 3 and knocked it down.
Mack to Marley Walls. Clears out space for her. She shoots the 3 short. And they call a loose ball foul against Bucknell. It's going to be against Tessa Brugler for her 3rd. And that's the 5th against the Bison in the quarters, so we're going to walk it down. Temple's going to shoot 2. .305 left to go in the third, and Temple with a chance to go up by 6, which was as big of a lead as Bucknell had. The officials getting together to just make sure that it was Davis who was fouled, and they say it wasn't. It was Shauna Alexander. Freshman from Prospect Park, New Jersey, will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's big. That's a 57% free throw shooter versus an 83% free throw shooter.
Alexander scoreless today, but had 11 points against UConn on Sunday. She picks up her first points from the free throw line.
And Trevor Woodruff really needs to manage this last 3 minutes of the third quarter here. Bucknell just 2 for 10 shooting in the quarter, 1 for 7 from 3.
Second free throw is no good, and they get the tie up. Possession arrow favors Temple. Bucknell trying to score an upset over an American Conference team. Just the second time that they've played a team out of the American Conference. The other was Temple in '93, as Davis gets it off the back rim. She's got 14, and Temple has a 7-point lead. And for as great as Bucknell played in the first half, they never led by as many as 7.
Yeah, Temple's shooting 56% in the quarter compared to Bucknell's 20.
And that'll do it. Temple playing some good defense in this third. Trying to free up Mack. Inside to Seppi. Kick out to Johnson.
Triple team there. To get it out to Johnson to beat the shot clock.
Leon on the near side, guarded by Taylor O'Brien. A little bit of a height mismatch there. Now Atkinson turns around on Mack. Shot didn't go. Mack had the rebound for a second, knocked out of her hands, and it'll be Temple ball.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was in Mack's hands, then knocked out. Bucknell obviously thinks that it should be their ball. Trevor Woodruff was pleading for a moment, but to no avail.
Well, that's twice here the last 2 trips down where Bucknell had a defensive rebound in their hands and couldn't quite control it, and it went back to Temple.
And it looks like they're...
But it wouldn't be reviewable at this point in the game.
I was going to say, at this point.
They're checking the shot clock, I believe.
Making sure it should be at 20.
Yeah. As opposed to a change of possession, which would have put it back to 30. You know, if Bucknell had possession there and then a turnover.
Jones driving it around Brugler, up with an off-balance shot. She gets it to go. 11 points for Ashley Jones, and Temple up by 6. Brugler on the elbow. The point guard Marley Walls gives that to Ellie Mack. Goes up from the mid-range and sinks it. 9 points for Mack, who's been quiet after a hot start.
Yeah, tough shot there. Pump faked around the defender. Moving to her left. Real smooth shot.
Importantly, another jump shot falling for the Bison as a long 2 for Jones goes down.
But Jones is smooth. Just shoots that little set shot. Had her heels on the three-point line that time.
Temple coach is expecting big things from her this year in her first season in the program. Is eligible to play. Walls trying to create space inside and gets the roll.
Saw that move in the first quarter. Comes to the jump shot. Then rolls around the defender and finishes with the left hand.
Marley Walls has 6 as Bucknell cuts it back down to 4.
Big stop here for Bucknell if they can get one.
They dump it inside. Davis gets the foul call. The bucket was no good, but Mia Davis will head to the free throw line.
A good recognition by Jones that time. Bucknell sagging all over Davis in the low post. She got on the backside of the defense that time, so they just lobbed it over everybody.
So Davis, first free throw of the game is up and good. She's got 15, starting to turn it on here in the third quarter. as Temple is offensively just in general. Second goes as well. 6-point Owl lead. Bucknell's got it for the final possession in the third quarter. Jones meets Walls. Allie Johnson on the right. Walls drives, no good. Temple grabs the miss, and the shot will not count by Ashley Jones. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. It's Temple 52, Bucknell 46. Back at Zoika Pavilion, start of the fourth quarter. Temple with a 6-point lead over Bucknell. He's John Terry. I'm Joe Basile. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're on Stadium as Bucknell will have it first in the fourth. And JT in need of a bucket on this first possession in a bad way.
Yeah, it would have been a nice wraparound there with the last possession of the third quarter. You look at, we talked about the 3-point shooting. Shots not really falling for either team. 2-point shooting. Temple 16 for 23, 70%. Bucknell 13 for 29, only 45%, but there's a three.
Allie Johnson circling the drain and letting it fall. Just a 3-point Temple lead as this one 9:25 from being over, but a long way from being over.
Starts with stops.
Davis gets it to go.
Little jab step there, got Tessa Brugler to back off her step, and that's all she needs. Which is a great touch from around the key there for Davis. She's probably a champion at that around the world game you play on the playground. Go right around the key, she makes everything.
Cap now for Seppi and Marley Walls. On that drive with the left hand, Walls trying to go up. She's blocked by Ashana Alexander. Jones running the break all the way to the basket. She got in too deep. And Bucknell's going to turn it over. Oh, nope, they call a foul.
Well, the Abby Cap was standing on the end line there, and the ball was batted around, and it just kind of came up and hit her in the chest, but she was standing out of bounds.
Jones floats it into Davis. Jones from straight away knocks it down. 16 points for Ashley Jones.
Big shot right there to extend it out to an 8-point lead for Temple.
Bucknell's going to need to get some threes to start falling in this fourth quarter. Here's Walls, picks up at the free throw line. 5 to shoot for Seppi, and they call an offensive foul as Mia Davis able to draw it. Got a timeout taken with 8:05 left to go in the fourth. It's a 57-49 lead for Temple. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him here on Stadium.
Can you draw a charge and get a flop warning?
Back at Circuit Pavilion, I'm Joe Basile. He's John Terry. It's an 8-point lead for the Temple Owls with 8:05 left to play. That is the largest lead that Temple's had so far in the game. This has been a tight one throughout the contest.
Yeah, it feels like the game's been played sort of in that 4-point range either way. So this is really the first little mini run here for Temple to stretch it up to 8. And we've talked about Bucknell's inability to get shots drop at the offensive end. It's really going to start with stops for Bucknell. Temple now for the game up to 56%.
Jones drives in on Mack. Boy, somehow got that one.
Yeah, they're really crafty being able to finish around the rim. Really impressed with Jones. 18 points now in the game. She's been terrific for Temple.
Double-digit lead for the Temple Owls. Bucknell trying to come back. The offense from Mack, now Cap up high. Turnaround shot and gets it to fall. I mean, Cap's got 9.
Yeah, not an easy shot there. Just found herself stuck on the left elbow with nobody to pass to.
Temple's really upped its game defensively in the second half. Jones going to drive her up the middle again. Can't get the roller, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Temple. Taylor O'Brien get a check-in for Bucknell as Marley Walls heads to the bench. So Allie Johnson slides over to the point guard role. So O'Brien at the 2, Cap Rugler and Mack rounding out the 5 on the floor for Trevor Woodruff. O'Brien a lane to drive, shot no, grabs the own miss, goes up with the second chance, that doesn't go, and Nyan grabs the miss for Temple.
Boy, Taylor's having a night. She's getting to the rim anytime she wants. Just can't finish off the glass. That's what, probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 times. She's gotten herself all the way to the basket and just has not been able to finish. Meanwhile, Temple's guards, when they do get to the rim, have been able to. Ooh, moving screen there on Davis, not called.
Davis for 3 at the end of the shot clock. No, and Tessa Brugler grabs the miss.
Tough rebound in traffic by Tessa.
So Bucknell gets the stop defensively. Now a chance to shave some off the lead. Mack's going to drive up the middle. Dish to Brugler inside. No. Grabs the rebound and gets the bucket. 13 for Tessa Brugler tonight.
And I believe that'll be her 9th board, so a chance for a double-double for Tessa.
It's a 6-point Temple lead with inside 6 minutes to play. Davis, step back, left it short. O'Brien grabs the rebound for Bucknell. Abby Kapp to make it a one-possession game. No.
That's just not a rhythm shot there. She caught it, took a look around, and shot it with her feet kind of in cement there.
They're going to whistle Taylor O'Brien for the reach-in foul. That'll be her first and Bucknell's second in the fourth quarter. Up off the bench, Alexa Williamson for Temple. Has the size and the length of this Owls team. It's caused some problems for Bucknell tonight, but they've been able to stay right there with them. Inside, they try to get it to Williamson. She can't corral it. Bucknell gets another turnover. O'Brien surprised by the pass. Mack hands off to Abby Kapp. Back inside to Mack, who's double teamed. They kick it out to O'Brien. She drives. Now Brugler for Kapp. Dumps underneath, wide open, Tessa Brugler on the back door.
Maybe the best possession of the night for Bucknell. That ball bounced around side to side, inside out. And a timeout Temple as Bucknell gets back within 4.
And Tanya Cardoza calling timeout for the Owls. She spent 12 years as the head coach at Temple. She, before that, was 14 years an assistant under Gino Oriema at UConn, won 5 national championships.
I'd like to put that on your resume.
That'd be pretty nice. I'd love one. As you see, you feel like right there, maybe in years past, the team was looking for Taylor O'Brien to maybe shoot a 3 or Kapp to shoot that. Instead, the extra passes found the wide open bucket underneath.
Exactly, and that's where Bucknell's been most effective, moving the ball around. Even those 3-point shots we're talking about, Bucknell's having a rough night from 3, but they've had a much better look at the rim on those jump shots when they're catching it in rhythm, squared up, off a paint touch. You know, when it's been a 3 off a dribble, you know, standing still, feet set like the last one we saw from Kapp, those have been really off the mark.
Bison just 5 of 20 from 3 as Neon drains one for the Owls.
Boy, she's been a difference maker for them, and there's what we just talked about, the drive and dish. So your feet are squared up on the perimeter. All you have to do is catch it in the shooting pocket, and those seem to go in more often than not.
O'Brien on the screen from Mack. Now it's Marley Walls. O'Brien drives up the middle, dish underneath to Brugler, puts it on the floor once, no, grabs her own miss, looking for somewhere, she kicks it out to O'Brien, and Bucknell will settle. O'Brien, open look for 3, left it too long, and grabs the miss again. She goes up with the bucket and gets the 3rd chance.
Wow, great hustle by Taylor O'Brien, not sulking after she missed the 3, went hard after that ball. Tessa Brugler is just battling in there, going hard after offensive rebounds. She grabbed her 10th rebound in there. She's got a double-double.
Yep. A couple of offensive rebounds that possession, leading to a bucket for the Bison. Jones for 3, and Ashley Jones left it short, and Bucknell grabs the rebound. They trail by 5. Brugler inside. Fighting her way in on Davis, no. Mack grabs the rebound, and she's fouled from behind by Alexa Williamson, who's going to pick up her 4th.
Bucknell just crashing the glass. When a night when the shots aren't falling, let's just throw it up there and go get it.
Powerful move inside from Tessa Brugler. There's the contact from Williamson. Mackins goes off for Temple as Alexander comes on. Boy, Marissa Mackins has been really quiet tonight for the Owls. Just 4 points. Came in averaging 13.5. Taylor O'Brien with 6 to shoot. Drives in, lefty layup, no. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Temple. Bucknell ball and a fresh 20 on the shot clock.
Again, Taylor O'Brien getting all the way to the rim.
Johnson gets it into Marley Walls. O'Brien on Young. Mack on the attack! And a chance to make it a 2-point game as Ellie Mack will head to the free throw line with a chance for a 3-point play.
Big time move there from the all-conference player. Wasn't quite sure where she was going. Just kind of probed and explored there. Tried the middle of the lane, saw a double team coming, so she spun away from it and leaned in and got it off the glass. Chance to cut it to 2.
11 points in the game for Ellie Mack. Free throw makes it a 2-point Temple game.
All right, time for Bucknell to lock down defensively here. Need to stop. They need to finish the possession with a defensive rebound.
5 minutes ago, Temple's lead was 10.
A lot of contact on the perimeter.
Jones guarded by Marley Walls. On the drive, closed out on a double team and still got it to go. Ashley Jones has been a magician on the drive tonight.
Yeah, anytime Temple needs a basket, they go to 0.
Temple's lead back up to 4. Bucknell slowing the pace down on offense. Hand off to Johnson. .212 left to go. Temple by 4. Ashley Jones trotting up the court with Mia Davis. Atkinson, Neon. Jones goes up and good. 22 points for Ashley Jones, one behind her season high of 23 that she had against Xavier last week. Ellie Mack for 3. In and out, no good, but Tessa Brugler flies in for the rebounds. What a game for Tessa Brugler. Johnson now driving. O'Brien off the pump fake of the pass, called for the travel.
Yeah, her eyes got really big there. She saw a lane to drive through and saw her do that one time in the first half. Just got the feet moving before the ball left her hand for the dribble.
Minute 23 left to go.
Still time. Bucknell can play this straight up here. No need to foul yet.
Bison do have 3 fouls to give until Temple goes to the line.
Yeah, Temple has this horn set, looking for a ball screen for Davis, and then Marley Walls is going to reach in here and take a foul. Only 2 team fouls for Bucknell, though, so a couple to give here.
It's Marley's first. Abby Cap going to check in for Walls. Johnson will head back up to the point.
With Ashley Jones just looking for a ball screen. She has options to go left or right. And it'll be one-on-one. Bucknell will switch it up here and put Johnson.
Bison on the run, need to work quickly. Down by 6. O'Brien drives, layup, no. Rebound, Temple.
And now they have to foul with 38 seconds.
And the inability for Bucknell to finish around the rim, especially in the second half, has really come back to bite this team, shooting almost 36% from the floor.
Yeah, you really have to feel for Taylor O'Brien. I mean,
she's had
4
so
for
many.
14 on the night, but she's getting anywhere on the floor where she wants to get. Just needs to work on finishing a little bit. She's going so fast when she gets to the rim.
That's the 5th foul committed by Bucknell, so Temple now will head to the free throw line as they're in the bonus, leading by 6 with 36.6 left to go. And Shauna Alexander. First is good. And a freshman, she's got just 2 points today.
8 assists, though, Joe. Giving them some really good minutes off the bench.
Combine that with just 2 turnovers as well as she makes good on the second. Temple's lead back up to 8. Bucknell had it down to 2 not too long ago, but a 6-0 run from Temple since then. Bucknell's got to go as O'Brien goes in, gets fouled, doesn't finish, but she'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah. Still shaking herself. She just looks really frustrated. I think Trevor Woodruff is going to go back and watch the film. He's going to see a lot of really good things from Bucknell tonight. Rebounded well, especially on the offensive end. Moved the ball well. Some nights shots just don't fall. And there's a perfect example. That free throw was halfway down and popped out.
And O'Brien, normally a very good free throw shooter, now 0 for 3 from the line tonight. The seconds is good. So she has 10. 68-61, and Allie Johnson commits the foul. We'll get down to the other end. And for Bucknell, it's a deal where, okay, if the score holds and Temple wins, you look back at the last 2 games, close losses on the road at Quinnipiac, and then at home against Temple. Both games that you were in late, and
yeah, not to mention they went down to Charlottesville, Virginia, and it was a 9-point game in the fourth quarter before it got away at the end. So a lot of positives for Bucknell. You know, remember, this was a championship team last year that lost 3 just terrific all-conference type players, one of the best senior classes in program history. So there's going to be a few growing pains here and there as Bucknell will take a timeout here, but as you look ahead to the schedule coming up, and trip to Puerto Rico to play Howard and Cincinnati, 2 good teams down to the islands there in the tournament. Then they come back. They have a trip to George Mason, who's a very good team. Drexel comes in here. Bucknell players still remember even last year's great team took a drubbing on the road at Drexel last year, so they'll want some payback there. And then St. Francis and Stony Brook on the road to close out non-conference play. So it doesn't get a whole lot easier for the Bison, really, when you look at the remainder of the November and December schedule.
Yeah, when you look at Bucknell's schedule just in general this year, it was a very challenging non-conference that was put together. 5 major conference opponents, including Temple out of the American, 2 teams from the American, 2 teams from the A-10, and then the University of Virginia out of the ACC, Quinnipiac, Drexel, Stony Brook, all teams that have either been in or receiving votes in the mid-major top 25 this year. It was a very challenging one put together for a Bison team that lost a lot from last year, and they've been in and with a chance to win all of their first 5 so far.
Right, but when you're a recruit and you come to Bucknell, these are the games that you want to play. You don't want to play, the teams at the bottom end of that Division I spectrum where you're going to go out and just walk to a 40-point win. Well, an occasional one of those is nice. It was fun. The Monmouth game that was 71-37. You come to Bucknell, you want to play big-time opponents and then take care of your league.
Allie Johnson leaves a 3 short. Mia Davis grabs the rebound, and Ellie Mack fouls her. Mack seconds, and with 17.7 seconds left to go, and a 9-point lead for Temple. I would have to imagine this is probably the last of the fouling situation for Bucknell.
Yeah, unless maybe they can bang a 3. Maybe you get a miss here, and then you hit a 3, and you extend the game.
Davis's first is good. So all of a sudden, this has turned into a 10-point Temple lead again as they've gone on. You can make it now a 10-1 run here at the close of this game.
And credit Temple. They've played very well here with their backs against the wall on the road.
Johnson for 3, no. Alexander grabs the rebound, and Bucknell will back off. Temple, in theory, just has to get this one across the timeline, and Mia Davis does just in time. And that'll do it here for us tonight. The final score, the Temple Owls 72 and the Bucknell Bison 61. Temple improves to 4-2 on the year. Bucknell falls to 2-3 overall in the season. But I think all things considered, despite the shooting woes for the Bison tonight, just 35%, 21% from three-point range, 5 of 24. A good night defensively. Tessa Brugler had a fantastic day and a lot of positives.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, if there's one major positive to take away from the game, Tessa Brugler, 15-point, 11 rebound, double-double coming off the bench for Bucknell. Tessa and Autumn Seppi platooning in that 5 spot there, did a really nice job. So a lot of positives moving forward for Bucknell.
And so that wraps up our coverage here tonight from Soika Pavilion. Thank you so much for joining us. For John Terry, I'm Joe Basile. Final score, Temple 72, Bucknell 61. Thanks for taking some time tonight here on Stadium.
There's the blitz. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Williams got him on the blitz.
We now return to our regularly scheduled program already in progress.